Well, we almost came in late, ladies and gentlemen, because we were behind the scenes talking about all sorts of stuff that we want to bring up today, but we can't. We can't.
No, we
Not
can't.
we can't right now. But I'm sure if everybody has their ear to the ground in the community, y'all are seeing what we're seeing.
Oh, boy.
We'll
Anyway,
just leave it at that. So
I'm
you
sure,
y'all
I'm
y'all
sure it
don't know.
won't take long.
Yeah, y'all don't know how much we want to talk about it, but we can't talk about it. We can't. We can't. We can't. Every sentence is an hour-long conversation. Yeah,
Trust me,
oh,
I could talk about this for at least 6 hours straight. No joke.
yeah. This would be the most spicy episode of Made in Dreams podcast ever, but we can't talk about it. We can't. We can't. We can't. But what I do want to talk about is something else that's just let's spice it. I would. I would. Like, see, if this was my other podcast, oh, I'd come in firing. But we're wholesome here. We like to we are here for the community. You're here for the community. The heck is this Tease and Dreams podcast? Tease in
These
Dreams.
in dreams.
Lord, okay, look, we'll just stop. Maybe we'll get into it by
Yeah.
the end of the episode, but I don't think we can. I don't think we can talk about this yet.
No, not
Yeah,
yet. I think
but we'll
I
see.
think it's going to be inevitable, but until that point comes, then I would feel uncomfortable bringing it up.
Yeah. So, much love to everybody out there working hard on your projects, and welcome to the Made in Dreams podcast, episode 48. Only 2 away from the big 50. Only 2 away from the big 50, and so
50 episodes. Jesus, that's crazy. That's like 50 weeks
yeah.
of doing this show. It's mental.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a fun ride so far, and we got more coming on the way. The big 5-0. So, well, as always, I'm here with my co-host, Jamie James, a.k.a. Tea Time, a.k.a.
Tea Time.
The Marquee. And so I wanted to go into a deep dive on the idea of monetization in dreams. Now, hold on. Give me a second, okay? I know it's something that's been talked about a lot just around the community, but I wanted to take it one further. Last week, I believe it was Jet Yeti who dropped a link for a YouTube video with a dude breaking down what not to do. Basically, we'll get to it, but there's people who want it. The conversation won't go away. It was you? Okay, well, then it was Ghost Fruit. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to give your props away. The Roblox thing, right? Yeah, there you go. So, so like, it won't go away. And like exportation, the exportation discussion, until a system is like set up, it's just going to keep happening. And so I wanted to discuss what not to do, and then discuss if monetization plan is even possible. Because as not very spicy, I'm sorry, Noter. I'm sorry, but I feel like we can't. I feel like we can't do it.
Said nothing.
We should have said anything. But it was just so happy. It like everything was just like, we try to keep it positive around here, and we never want to sound like we're attacking anybody. Like, we always want to be supportive of the community, which is why even when things do get spicy, like people losing their minds on Twitter talking about, how the dream community's been toxic for them, and people are going after them in chat and all that stuff. RBD, who are we attacking? I'm here.
Pitchforks at the ready. Let's go.
No. We're not attacking anyone yet.
Not today.
Yet, but in time. So yeah, I wanted to discuss if monetization is even possible. to be like within dreams as a possible good, as a thing that people will be happy with. So with this video that Ghost Fruit gave us, it was regarding Roblox and the way that it's been monetized. It's horrific, as described by at Quins108, who did the video for what is it? What is the name of that? What is the name of that? People Make Games YouTube channel. And funny enough, they're followed by Media Molecule. So I was like, well,
Ooh,
cool. At least they
right.
at least they know that this exists.
That
And they
dreams
like,
is a thing.
yeah.
But props to that video though. Before we start, very well made, very well instructed, lots of good information and laid out. Really good video. If anyone hasn't watched it, you should definitely give it a watch.
Yeah. And if you want to grab the link to that video and pop it in chat again after we're done, feel free to do that. So,
Cool.
Like I said, we'll see. By the end of the episode, we might still get spicy because who knows where we're gonna go. But in this video, talking about Roblox and how they've monetized it, and honestly, just kind of slave labored a bunch of children.
It's incredible that they've managed to get away with it in the beginning. Like it seems so bad what they're doing, and it just goes to show how out of tune the government is with gaming, that they do not see this. I mean, we've seen it before with the whole Facebook fiasco when they had that huge data leak, and they didn't have any idea of how, social media worked, and that's why they can get away with what they get away with. It's the same for the gaming industry, like for microtransactions and Roblox, especially with the way that they're doing things. The government has no clue because they are so out of tune with technology.
So I guess let's run down some of the checklist of this video just to catch people up. So basically, Roblox, they're now a publicly shared company on the market valued at $41 billion. For comparison, that's about 4 times Ubisoft. The creators on the platform, which are mostly children, not all, but mostly children, get less than 25% of the revenue made by their creation. Roblox is a lot like Dreams in just it's basically a tool that they provide you to make your own things. So, it gets horrible if that already doesn't sound like the worst thing ever. Like for those that don't realize, there's been like a huge legal battle between like Epic and Apple and Google and and Steam and everybody that has an online market that takes a percentage. They've been fighting over whether 15 or 30%, a 15 to 30% cut of your creation was too much. Roblox is literally they're just sitting back, scooting under the radar.
Yeah,
they're just scooting under the radar.
They really are.
We're like, yo, we take 75%, and the 25% that's left for the creator is not actually 25%. They get less than that.
Yeah, because we lock down their 25% to our own virtual currency.
Yeah.
It's just so bad.
Yeah. So just like trickle-down economics, it doesn't work for the majority of creators, as all marketing centers around the top of the Roblox ecosystem. Like I thought I had heard. I thought I had heard. Oh God, yeah, I'm about to get into the script. That was next level. But I thought that was bad. I thought what I just laid out for y'all was bad, but it gets worse. So, in order to get a payout, you have to, at least for us in America, so I can only go by what we have, you have to have $1,000 in profit before you can get a payout on your creation. Can you imagine if Twitch did that?
Oh my God.
If Twitch made you have $1,000 first before you were verified for a payout, I think everybody would have left. Because Yeah, $1,000 in Robux. And also, hello, Jay Yeti. And so, so they have their own monetary equivalent, which is what everybody keeps hearing about or keeps talking about in chat, which is the script, which is basically it's a monetary equivalent that can be used within the system for marketing among other developer necessary tools. This is like this practice in real life was banned in 1938 here in America and banned before that in the UK because companies would substitute just to keep it clear, they would substitute like Roblox money for real money, which could only be used in like with the company, like with your employer. So you're basically giving back what you earned to the person who was supposed to be paying you. and like Jammy said, it's only legal online.
Yeah. Like, you couldn't get away with this anywhere else other than online. For the simple fact that the people that are supposed to be protecting you online have no idea what's going on. And that's why they're doing it. Because they literally have the freedom online to do this until the government steps in and puts something in place to stop it. And the people that are in charge are so out of date. They have no one in government anywhere, like America, the UK, I don't care where it is, I don't believe anywhere in the world the government have modernized people that are used to how the world works now. And therefore, what they don't see don't hurt them because they have no idea how it works in the first place. So these huge companies have this massive opportunity to bring back an illegalized way of using payment because they believe that they're never going to get caught for it. And you've got to give them credit where credit's due. It's a fantastic idea to monetize on your market. It's wrong, but I can understand why they're doing it because they can get away with it. And whatever company, huge company, is going to do to earn more money, they're going to do it. So I can see why they're doing it. It's wrong and they shouldn't be doing it, but I can understand why. Because the government is completely blind by it.
Yeah. Like, we literally have a bunch of dudes who, like, the only thing they know how to do online, as far as our legislation goes, it's like the extent of what they can do online is, like, go look up indecent shit. Like, like, that's basically, that's all they know how to do. It's just, it's like the worst thing you could do on the internet, I guess, is the only thing they know how to do. You, like, oh, man, it was so funny seeing, like, all of, like, our representatives have to like use any video service when they had to do calls like Zoom or anything like that. They're still messing it up. But but in the beginning they were like, computers? What? Yeah. So they don't know. Like they don't know what is happening. And yeah, I mean that's the only way they could get it.
Their eyes was opened with the whole Facebook fiasco, and then that just got completely dropped. Like, we haven't heard about that in a while now. Like, I think it's just the whole gaming industry thing has taken over as far as that's concerned with the news. But like, their eyes was opened with the whole Facebook thing of how that works, and they still haven't done anything about it.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, we'll post that video. I'm gonna leave it to Jammy to find it. And he can post it because it's a really great video, and yeah, everyone should probably go check that person out. So now we know what not to do when it comes to like, this is exactly what we don't want for dreams. But that brings up another question. What do we do? Because as I sat back thinking about, like, okay, well, they can't do this because that's terrible, but what can they do? And we all talk about how we want exportation and how we want monetization and all of two of the bajillion things we want. But is it possible? Like, truly possible? And so I came up with a few ways. I came up with a few possible. Well, I came up with a few possibilities and their pros and cons. And
All right, let's hear it. Let's go.
Okay, so okay. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ragamuffin said Congress still thinks internet is a series of tubes. Basically.
Oh boy.
Let me see. Jet Yeti, I think I had to do a double take when watching the video because at first I thought the creators would get 75%. Yep, no.
No way.
They get 25%, maybe. That's
maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, the ultimate is they get 0. That's the truth.
Yeah. Most of them, probably 98% of them get 0, and it's all
so
crazy.
bad.
Doesn't Core have a decent monetization model? I'm not sure what the monetization model of Core is. I know I downloaded it like back when it was relatively new because I just wanted to see what it was working with. But like everything else, I was like, I don't have time for this. Like, like I need a easier, smoother path to making my first square. Like, anyway.
Square.
Yeah, I mean that's how it feels. That's how it feels.
Well, I mean, it's based on Unreal Engine, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So, let me see here. Pebbles Plus, is that the Dreamer dollars? Dreamer dollars equals Pebbles Plus. Pebbles sounds just insulting. Well, I mean,
yeah.
I could respect if at least they were openly dirty about it.
Yeah,
we're giving you Pebbles, yeah, but we know they wouldn't. We know they wouldn't. But it would be pretty hilarious. I'll take it as an April Fool's one day, as an April Fool's joke one year in the future. I'll take a Pebbles joke. All right, peasant coins. Well,
boy.
yeah. So like the ways that could be done, like we know what we don't want, what can be done. And I would say my first thing was something that we've Cuthbits. What the?
Cuthbits.
That is completely not a direction that we can allow to go.
No.
I will not be collecting Cuthbits. That just doesn't even sound
Connie
right.
coins. We could have Connie coins. That would work.
Let me see. Game Maker Studio is in the $200 range. I'd pay that for a version of Dreams that lets me export executables and doesn't include any surfing Dreamiverse. See, yeah. I mean, we talked about that last week, Entropy, where it's like, where I was saying, I think that version of Dreams is going to be the PC version. It's going to be something that, you know, makes it so it can control what you export as far as like the Dreamiverse, but it's more of like your licensed version of Dreams to which you can use to develop for multiple things but be kind of separated from the Dreamiverse. Let me see here. Oh no, Cuthbit sounds like it should be on the hub somewhere. Well, that is true, Duckonomics. That is true, Duckonomics. He said if MM paid creators with Mega Penguin Pebbles, it would still be less predatory than Roblox. It's true.
Yeah, very true.
It is true. So we'll give him that. So first, I wanted to go back to something you've brought up in the past, Jammy, which is the donation button.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think this would work. I personally don't think this would work. Because while, just like Patreon, it allows you to support artists, what about the people who made assets that were used in that creation? And this is where it started to become a common theme when I was thinking about whether or not it was actually possible. And so I'm going to save what I would propose for last. As far like getting rid of the whole PC version of Dreams in the future, like what would work. So the last one is the one I'm going to go with. I think is going to cause problems. But the next one is exportation of projects outside of Dreams for monetary purposes. Pros, you keep dreams and monetization mutually exclusive. You can create in dreams, but any monetization would have to be sought elsewhere through monetization. Like, you would have to
Okay.
basically, nobody's getting anything from dreams per se until, I guess, like, if you want money, you have to go elsewhere. So it has to be through exportation, which means exportation has to happen. And then we run back into kind of the issues from the first one. But it's like you would absolutely have to limit file exportation to files that are your own creations. Nobody wants to see their character 3D printed and sold by someone else using dreams as their own personal product trove. So, and, yeah, like I think that's something that people have brought up multiple times. But I think exportation honestly creates a bigger problem.
How
And
so?
because
What if,
I'm trying to think of how much time they would need to put into controlling or building the system that would literally make exportation possible without also abusable. Like,
how would it be abusive though if the model is that you can only export what you create personally, or like if you're in a team then where you have a signed thing from to say like anything that your team makes can all be collaborated together into one project and then monetized by exportation. How is that abusing it if you're not using anything from the Dreamiverse?
well, that's if you're not using anything from the Dreamiverse. Like,
But that isn't that the whole model that you're proposing, that you only use stuff you make yourself?
well, that's in the PC version. Like, that's in the licensable $200 to $400 PC version that we talked about last week. But that's not what I'm talking about now. What I'm talking about is just the idea of exportation, because people are waiting for exportation because they're like, exportation is the way for me to take this outside of dreams to make money.
Mm-hmm.
But with there being a Dreamiverse and there's not a PC version that separates it yet, if you own your scene and someone has put their asset up for use on the Dreamiverse, like for free, it's like, hey, you can use that chair, you can use that thing. But now if this person can export it, we run back into the problem of the first con, which is that person who said, yeah, you can use my table, you can use that chair, you can still put that in your 3D print, you can still put that in your outside game. It, like I said, being that this licensable PC version doesn't exist yet, you could basically take those things and use them as products, but not have to pay it forward to anybody else who helped. So exportation itself is a problem against the them being able to create a monetization model. I
Okay.
might be overthinking this, but I feel that makes sense.
Okay, I've just had an idea. What if there was an option when you release something as remixable? So now let's just say that exportation is a thing, and the Dreamiverse has an option when you release something as remixable, you have the option to release it as completely free, where people can use it in their creations for dreams and outside of dreams as an executable, or they can choose to just lock it to dreams only, where they can only use it in dreams and it can't be used as part as an export.
That could work.
So that way the Dreamiverse still gets filled with stuff to use because people will still release stuff as remixable, but the person that created it has the choice whether or not they want it to be remixable in dreams or out of dreams as well. It's all down to the person that creates the asset in the first place. So then there isn't an issue, because they can't release something that can be used for them to earn money because you don't have the choice. You either release it for free, where they can use it in dreams as well as outside of dreams if they choose to, or you just release it as remixable only to be used within the Dreamiverse itself.
See,
That fixes everything.
See, Entropy said you still have a tough problem around profit shares, and that's where we get to the third thing that
But you wouldn't.
I don't think anybody's gonna like how I put it, but it's going to address that thing. You know what? Before I go to the third thing, let's catch up in chat. I want to make sure we don't lose. I think it could be the same framework that they use for private creations. Can't publish unless it checks everything is public. So it could check that only your assets are in your creation if you want to export. That's a pretty slamming idea, actually. Entropy, yeah, you still have a tough problem around profit shares.
But you wouldn't. You wouldn't have a problem with profit share because what I'm proposing does not allow remixers to have any profit. You either release it for free that people can use in Dreams, or you release it completely free for use inside of Dreams and outside of Dreams. It doesn't affect the Dreamiverse because content is still getting created and people can still publish stuff to be used in other creations. So basically the person that creates the asset can either lock it down to only be used in Dreams, or they can release it in Dreams and out of Dreams. That way there's no profit for the person that's made the asset. They have the choice. Do you want it to be used in Dreams only, or are you comfortable with someone using this in their project that they can export, but you get nothing for it? It removes the whole profit share equation out of the situation completely. It's down to the person that makes the asset whether they're comfortable with someone using their asset and exporting the game for monetization.
Ninja said, imagine percentages and royalties for something that sells in perpetuity. Entropy said, I made a table, you made a room, he made a castle, who get what amount of compensation? You kind of addressed that with what you last said. And what if you can set a flat fee for access of your asset collection?
No, you see, I don't like the idea of that. Because then the Dreamiverse is just going to be turning into the Unreal Marketplace where it's filled with stuff that's just behind paywalls. That's what's going to happen. If people are allowed to create stuff and then put a price on it to be used for exportation, it's literally going to turn into a marketplace. And I feel it takes away from the whole thing that Dreams is, which is play, create, and share. So I don't know. I think you either have the choice to release it as remixable and you're happy for people to use it in Dreams, or you have the choice to release it for both. I think it's the only way it's going to keep things normal and not create an absolute headache in regards to profit share and paywalls behind everything. Because if paywalls become a thing, it's just going to destroy the Dreamiverse. It's going to turn it into something that it was never intended to be.
And see, this is where I do want to, I really want to come in with this third option, but I want to make sure everybody's message gets read here. So, yeah, it creates an effective wall, but is it a satisfactory one? That's the whole thing I'm proposing. Like, what would be satisfactory to everyone? And I do agree with Jamie on this one that it would, in fact, turn into a marketplace. And that's been a really that I don't know that's done things to communities before, so we'd have to see. Ripe says copyright owners might sue Sony for Dreams as their platform to be used to create copyright stuff and then monetizing it without their level of approval. That is also a possibility. Willow, hello. Hello, Willow. What if I made a thing that looked good but was actually super busted and someone paid for it? Then you would put in the project description, gotcha. And that would be it. Just, don't you feel stupid now? No. And Wargarble, goodbye free stuff. Wargarble, I feel like at some point I am going to get you on this show, bro. Because, yeah, like as a person who, well, we'll talk about that when you get on the show. Anyway, it's okay. I'll just play Cheese Wheel. Here's a thought experiment. Big Bad Bass is made from a long string of remixes. If you click back enough times, the original is just a Legend of Zelda song cover. Can Big Bad Bass be monetized? Maybe. Hey.
Here's the thing, though. There is a thing with using samples. Like, obviously, Daft Punk is a massive user of samples in their songs. They use like old songs and turn them into new songs. And I don't quote me on it, but I read about it before, and as long as the sample is unrecognizable to the original content, I'm more sure you can do it. Like you can sample something and then completely change the sound altogether. And as long as it doesn't relate to the original thing that was created in the first place, then it's usable or something like that. I can't remember the rules, but there is a rule about it that where if you take something and you change it in music so it doesn't sound like the original thing, it's fine to do it.
Well, now I think it's time um, to go into that third point because I'm seeing a bunch of comments coming out now that actually I think play into it.
All
And
right, go for it. Just do it. Just
the
do it.
third point is the internal revenue centralized within Dreams. There is no exportation. We are now Sony in-house talent. Dreams is our studio. Our games reside on the Dreamiverse in the PS Store, and any and all monetary income from that purchase of that game or art is ratioed between the creators, with a standard cut being issued to asset creations for percentages of the take.
Okay, so
I thought
you're saying
so no you we just don't get exportation. We just take that off the table. And we for now, maybe they can offer that in the PC version. But we stop talking about it as something to be brought to the PS4 or PS5. So once that's done, you have the ability, like they can, like whether it's an MM original or you put out a game, it'll just raise the, how would you say? It'll raise the separation as far as like your content. If you put out a game and they're like, and they do put it into the PlayStation Store, you don't even have to have Dreams anymore. They just take it and put it into the PlayStation Store. If someone buys that game, say you decide to charge $5. The creator of the game and the main people would get a certain amount. If you used assets from the Dreamiverse, then those people would also get a flat percentage cut for their asset being used in your project.
okay.
And that way, you still have the thing where the person who made the story, who made the characters, who made the if the characters aren't assets being used, like you have the person that's dropping it. That let's say that person gets, because I know Sony gonna get their cut. I mean they gonna get that money. So so let's say they come out and they hit you with the flat 15%. So 15% on that. Then you have the creators and the team that makes it. They take a 50%. Let's call it 60, just to put it in our favor just for now. So we're up to 75%. And that last 25% is um wait. Yeah, 75%. So that 25% left over is literally split between a base ratio between what you used. And if you didn't use anything, then that money again gets split back between you and Sony. So
So
you just erase all exportation. It exists on PlayStation. We are a PlayStation studio. That's what all of us are.
So you're saying when you say flat rate, you're saying there would be limitations to what percentage would be accessible for what asset. So basically, like foliage would be whatever price, and a skybox would be a set price. A character would be a set price. Is
I
that
would
how you're?
I would say all of it would be just the same set price.
But then that takes away from the value because there's going to be an issue with value of assets. Like a fully rigged character, in my opinion, is going to be worth more percentage than a grass asset or a tree. Because do you see what
It
I'm saying?
it is, but like you said, there's still a separation between what people want to let people use and what they can't use. But if you make the decision per your own personal TOS in collaboration with being on Dreams and therefore the Sony TOS, you're making the decision that you're saying, when you put that asset out, you're saying, I'm okay with people using it. And you accept that that's what you will get. That will still balance itself out monetarily towards the asset creator, because if you make bomb ass assets, you're going to make more money because more people are going to use your assets. So while it may in that one project not be like, you might do a fully rigged character that's amazeballs, like you might make that, and yeah, the person who made the I don't want to crap on anybody for making grass, because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I see some sexy grass out here, some grass that I would like to lay in personally, but I probably never get up again. But the point is that yeah, you might look at that and on the top be like, oh, well, they've rigged a full character, or I rigged a full character and that person made grass, that I should get a bigger cut. You could say that, or because that grass might be used, let's say 50 times. But we all know the importance of a fully rigged character. If someone puts the boss balls out here on the Dreamiverse, everybody's going to use it as their base. Everybody. But that's just it. It still pays itself out in royalties. You can't look at it how the man teaches us to look at it, okay? You can't be greed about it, okay? But we'll get to it. I'm sure I have a lot of stuff to get to. I can see my chat slider has gotten quite chunky over here. So.
I see your point, but then it just doesn't seem fair. Like, what if someone creates a whole environment? Like, so the person that let's just say, like, I decide now to make a game for monetization via the PSN store, yeah? And I create my own character or whatever, but I decide to use this whole entire environment that someone has made. So this huge, huge, massive environment with mountains and a volcano and an ocean and everything. It's all in this one scene. It's this one big, beautiful scene, right? And I pop that into my game. I use that as my base. And then I use someone's asset of some birds flying. The fact that both of those assets get an equal cut just doesn't seem fair. Because the asset that made the game what it is that huge environment. The game could have survived without the birds.
What made it fair was you agreeing that it was fair.
But do you think people would agree that it's fair, though?
I would say that most people who spend their time making extremely big assets or big levels or city layouts or whatever, there's a ton of stuff that we haven't seen that people have made that they're going to use. Most people keep the real big things that they've made that are flawless to themselves. But a lot of people, when they're working up to creating that big flawless thing, will create iterations. And so while they're doing that, there's nothing wrong with them doing that. There's nothing wrong with them keeping one for themselves, as we've already gone over in this show a plethora of times. But if someone goes, hey, I want to create a city. It's that whole argument that we talked about where I was saying that I thought I had to do everything myself and how that slowed me down in my creation of Dreams. But there are people who get on Dreams and yeah, somebody may get on and create an entire city. And that might be their opus. They might not even plan to do anything with it. They just like, yo, I want to build a city. I want to see if I can make it as awesome as possible. They did it. Therefore, if they want to put that whole city up as an asset, then they've agreed. They agree. Like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, oh, this person made a city. This person made a bird. One's bigger than the other. However, the person will have already had to agree that that city goes into the asset mix. And again, I bring back to you, if someone puts that much time into a city, into a cityscape, it's going to be used probably way more than that bird. Like it's gonna even out in the end. You can't think of it. You can't think of it like a corpo. You, like all the changes that we keep crying about that we want the world to do, and we, that the difference between the older generations and our generations, and what they want us to believe and do, and how they think life should be spent versus what we think. Like, all I hate to go into that, but it all plays into this thing you're saying. It's like, hey, but I should get more, and it's like, you will, because you did quality work, not because you have to gouge the person who wants to use it. Your quality work will stand, and it will be used multiple times. Some person might use that bird. Somebody might come along and be like, oh, well, that bird's not good enough for me. I'm going to use this bird. And it's all going to even out. It just, if you look, as I tell Willow all the time, you got to have that Kanye West state of mind. I'm dope, and I do dope shit. That's what your mindset, everybody out there, that's what your mindset should be. I'm dope, and I do dope shit. That's just how you got to go in. We're all working towards something. But if you agree to put your thing up on there, if you agree to be a PlayStation dev, no,
you see, there's another issue with what you're proposing though as well. And
probably
proposing that, yeah. So proposing that it's locked into the PlayStation Network, which to me personally makes the most sense anyway. I mean, from Sony's perspective, they would want to lock it to their network because they have the marketing ploy then to say we are the only console experience that offers you the ability to create something and publish it to their store. So that's marketing gold to begin with. The issue with it though is if you are locking it down to PlayStation, so you would have to basically put in a request then to say, I want my game to go onto the PlayStation Store, or something to that effect, right? The issue that you have with it is there would have to be a quality boundary. Because PlayStation already has quality boundaries in place for their store. That's why Cyberpunk got removed in the first place. There is a certain level that you have to reach before your game is acceptable to be sold on their store because they have a reputation to uphold. So then you have the whole conversation of, is my content good enough for PlayStation? You send it off and then you get a nice email back saying, sorry, but your creation isn't good enough, do better next time.
Well, I don't know if they handle it like you just said it.
Yeah, but you get the point.
But this is the thing. You would be submitting it to them, so they would have to have somebody just like the testers that come in and be like, yo, you need to fix this, 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 and this. You go back and you fix that, just like a normal game dev would. And you fix that, and then you submit it again.
But the problem that you have with it again then is you are literally... You are having people from Sony doing QA.
Well, they made
people's games. And they're not gonna do that because let's just imagine that this happens. Yeah,
you don't know what they do if they, as you put it, hit gold.
Yes, but at the same time, QA is very, very expensive. And now let's just say this happens and they release the whole marketing thing to say you can now upload your content to the PlayStation Store. You're going to see a massive influx of people come to Dreams, and you're going to see a huge influx of people releasing stuff to Sony. So now you're going to have to hire a whole new department just to watch over the Dreams content. And you're going to have to pay these people that are QA testing for Sony to make sure that the content hits the threshold. At what point does it become too expensive to do this venture?
I personally don't think it does if you do have things coming out. If you do have things, because there are professional developers amongst us, whether or not they're indie or not. We have people that have put out games that know what it takes to create a solid game. And also, not everything made is super complex in the sense that it would even be that much to test. It's literally like, I get what you're saying, but at the same time, this would be a decision that has been made. Like, it just...
there's a huge difference though of being an indie developer that releases something to Steam. Okay, because the quality threshold of Steam is dramatically different than the quality threshold of Sony.
Yeah, I get it.
So, do you see? But because we're not true, like we're not these huge companies who are developing these games in dreams. We don't have the ability to hire QA testers and things to make sure that the game is going to reach the level of quality that Sony needs. So Sony is going to have to build their own team to test all of these games.
I'm pretty sure they already have it, but they'll probably have to make it bigger. Yes, but I
I
still
don't know.
say,
Mm.
you're making a wager as a business, and the wager you're making is not it's not that much different than just to bring in some other crap. That's not much of a difference than the the infrastructure that like Microsoft had to put up to start building cloud gaming like 8 years ago. What do they call X Cloud, and then basically spinning that off into um, Game Pass, and like all of that was part of the same initiative. It costs money, but what you could be getting is the wager you're making. And I believe personally in the Dreamiverse enough to say that you should make that wager. Because even if you take things, and guys, I'm not trying to, you know, forget anybody, I'm just grabbing directly out of my mind. There are people who have been like, well, Slice isn't perfect. And I'm like, yo, but I've played Slice in in a sense on Steam before. Like, and it's good enough. And all it would take, I think it's amazing, by the way. I love Slice.
Yes, like, it's
It's
brilliant.
simple, it's perfect. If it could be exported to iOS like or to mobile like many of the games in Dreams, it would I think it'd be making a killing. So I understand why people want monetization, and we'll get around to, we'll talk about all that eventually. But I think it's a wager. But I think it's a wager that they had to already start considering when they were approached with the idea of Dreams, because you can't think that you're
Yeah,
going to give
yeah.
people this tool.
They've already clearly had this conversation. It would have been
Yeah,
the first thing to come up.
yeah. When people are working and putting all their hard time putting all their hard work and all their time into creating art, at some point the natural progression of thought leads you to, hey, can I make money from this? Can I make it so that I could do this and enjoy my life? That's literally the step for everything. That's how everyone, not even artists, create what they like, come up with what they want to do with their life. It's, I really enjoy this. Can I do it to make a living? So they had to know the conversation was coming. And I bet that they're already made the wager. They've already chosen in the way that I say, that I'm predicting. And the problem is, there just has to be an ironing out of the legalities, which is why I keep talking about assets and the flat fee and the cuts, because that's what it's going to come down to. I believe we'd already have exportation and we'd already have some sort of monetization, but that is where it gets tricky. With the fact that you have an open market, you have the ability to use other people's creations that have put them up for free so you can use them. But you also still want to make sure that those people are satisfied. Like if they're playing a game, if you're it's if for instance, there was DreamWorks got sued. I know, guys. Allow me my movie moment, okay? DreamWorks got sued, and we're gonna go to chat because we're gonna be
Chat's
reading
blowing
chat.
up.
Yeah, when DreamWorks got sued because somebody pitched Kung Fu Panda under a different name to them years before it got picked up.
Really?
Yeah, and the thing is that the person was like, those that's my story. But it was a little different. They ended up having to pay this person, just like the woman who came out. Yeah, just like the woman who came out and said that, Warner Brothers had stolen the Matrix, and her story was similar, but it wasn't the same. And so it gets into that murky water where it's like, if you see something, just like the person Marvel, I think it was Marvel, where they had some movie poster and someone was like, "Yo, that's my design," and they were like, "We didn't know." And it turned out that somebody had like bought a design off somewhere else and doesn't. People come out of the woodwork and they want credit for what they've done. If you see the tree that you created as a main tree in a thing that makes a lot of money, you're like, yo, I at least want to be paid for that tree. I mean, come on. Come on, don't leave me out. I'm here. So that's where everything gets murky. And I'm going to let you come back, and then I'm going to start a chat because I'm all the way back at when you were talking about music rights.
Let's go to chat. Yeah, let's go to chat now because it's genuinely like there's so many messages.
Okay, so let's start going through this, and we need to come up with a I don't know, like a thing for this section because I like being able to go back into chat and just read through and then talk about it. So we need to come up with some sort of like little action scene that comes out. It's like reading from chat, and that'll be. And then we'll start reading. It'll be great. Right. Okay, Falcarich. I don't know if monetization will end free stuff. I can use other software now that has monetization, but I choose to make free stuff in Dreams. And thank you for it. Thank you. The legal part of the music industry is butthurt. Yeah. Go to my other podcast on Wednesdays. We talk all the time about that. Ripe, let's see. I hope it doesn't end up like YouTube original content monetization, aka 1% of your video uses someone else's copyright music, thus 100% of your video profits from advertisement and it goes to music owner.
That's so true.
We've now taken your entire video. Thanks, YouTube. So let's see. Willow Bob at... Wait, did I miss another? Then before you would buy an asset, you could test it out in some kind of creation sandbox. Oh, that's going back to when she was saying, what if you bought something that was pure bunk? So, but would you be able to open the logic and inspect it? Because the logic is where it gets ugly for me. Willow. I swear, guys, you will never meet a more modest dreamer than Willow.
You really
like,
wouldn't.
She is really giving Bivson a run for his money as of late. That idea just makes dreams even less accessible. Which one? Never mind. We just lost that one.
That one's gone with the wind.
I'm sorry, RBD. I love you. Does anything created in Dreams belongs to Sony? Like every map created in WoW map tool belongs 100% to Blizzard, or I don't know. I mean, within Dreams, it's at least with like you have to get some like special pass if you're doing work for clients in Dreams. So with that being the case, I would guess by proxy, you're kind of in the Sony wheelhouse already.
No. Anything you make in Dreams personally that you create yourself is yours. You own the rights to it.
Yeah, but if you wanted to do client work, you have to go through the program, right?
Yeah, you have to go through the beta evaluation program.
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Wargarble, MM can seek you out if they are interested, possibly. No. Ninja at Reville. I remember LBP. It was said that your idea is Sony's idea if they ever wanted it. Cripes. Explicit. Willow Bob. Yes, the testing sandbox would act just like the creation side of Dreams, but there would be no saving of any sort. What if you just went in and broke people's stuff for free? Like, I know Willow was talking about something she was looking at the other day, and she was like, yeah, and somehow the whole like ground, like the whole landscape got flipped upside down. I don't know what I did.
Yeah, I saw it, Don't worry, I didn't save it. It's fine.
Yeah, it didn't save though. Don't worry. It's like, So spicy. Papa Sony always gets his cut. Yes, he does.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, he does. But that's what he gets for putting up with this game putting up with the development of this game for 10 years. Personally, I mean, I feel like Sony did. Maybe this is just me and not being greed based or not caring about money or whatever. But I'm like, yo, yeah, you gave them the money to work on this for 10 years. If you want your cut, you deserve your cut. Because without you, I wouldn't have them. And I wouldn't have what I can make with them. So I mean, now if Sony comes in like Tony Two Toes and is like, I get 98% of your proceeds. Like, I'm like, yo,
Tony Two Toes.
Like, just say it. If they come in like that, then I might be like, yo, man, I ain't greedy, but you kind of hemming me up. You're shaking me down. But we'll get to that when it comes. Willow, it seems Willow and Explicit just got in. They're just going back and forth on this creating thing. What if the person testing it out just took notes and was able to recreate parts of the logic since they got to inspect the creation thoroughly? Do y'all want to come on the show and have about this debate? I feel like y'all are going to keep going. Jammer Sonar, the issue has been around for a while, but is there anything on record from MM and Sony on a plan? Even before the game was greenlighted to be pushed forward, there has to have been these conversations, and we know they had a 10-year plan for Dreams. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, this has already been discussed. At this point, they're just working out the details. And then it becomes, well, when do we tell people? And what do we do if there's blowback? They're just already in the like, we need to do this carefully. Everything could go wrong immediately. So yeah, take your time. I'm in no rush currently. Am I back in time for Spice? No, Dirt, stop it.
Not yet.
War Garble, the curves on that grass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Grass is lit. So let me see. Oh God, Explicit and Willow. I'm gonna keep
still going.
At least where I am in the chat, they are. Falcorich, MM can force assets to be collaborators. Wait a minute, assets to be collaborators of the monetized dream only. Yeah. Okay, Entropy says I got it. Export is a way to distribute your own dreams demo. Just your one dream is a standalone state with an option to buy the full version of Dreams. If someone buys from your demo, you get a cut.
That's actually really interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. See, Entropy is big brain. That's what's good. Fucking five head over here. Anyway, Ninja, artist commune barter system for the love, etc. Lol. RBD, Entropy, that's interesting. I get to feed my vanity and show off my game. They get copies of Dreams sold. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. I like that idea. Let me see. Entropy to get people to buy Dreams, damn it. Yeah, man. Last week. We went over all this. We went over all that, but yeah, everybody's signing off. Yeah, everybody's signing off on Entropy. Long term, though, if you keep releasing stuff, less and less people are going to still be buying Dreams off of you or at all. Nah, we'll see. League of Legends has been around for a really long time just by changing stuff up slightly every like other month or so. Just be like, to place a box, you get like an extra 50 HP or some shit. Like, who knows? I'm just saying, like small changes go a long way with longevity. Big ones as well, being that we haven't seen like the super big ones that we all want as of yet. Yeah, I'm just brain vomiting. Oh, Entropy, stop it. Willow, I bet people that agreed to it to be free would change their minds after someone started making money off of it. Yeah.
That's fine though, because they'd still have the option to just release it as remixable within the Dreamiverse exclusively.
And explicit came in is a great idea as well. Entropy is one. I think Entropy is one.
Yeah.
He's one today. He's one today. In my mind, I was like, I should make a play off of sending him an impy, but call it a wimpy because my name's Will. And I was like, that just sounds stupid. So, so I shared it with you anyway. These are all the things that go through my brain.
It's a good idea, but I don't know. I still think people would just want their full game on the PlayStation Store.
Wait, are you for or against my idea, bro? Yeah, I swear one second you're saying what's wrong with it. Next thing
No. Entropy's idea of just releasing a demo on the PlayStation Store to play the full thing, you need Dreams.
Yeah.
Like, it works, but don't you think people would still say, well, that's all well and good, but I still want my full game to be released onto the PlayStation Store, because then they could get a better cut because the full game is there. Like, do you see the point? It's like you could release a demo, and then you would get a cut from the sale of Dreams. But if you made like a 7-8 hour long experience, you could release that on the PlayStation Store for £35. I'm just thinking, like, people would still say, well, yeah, I've got a small cut because that person has come to Dreams through my demo. But if the full game that I made was released onto the PlayStation Store, I would have got a much bigger cut.
Y'all see this, Corpo? See, this is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with in Dino. Y'all see this, man? We barely have room for our creativity anymore. This man be coming out of nowhere. But listen, how about my cut?
Look, at the end of the day, monetization is monetization. If you're going to monetize something, you're going to want the most out of it.
Uh-huh.
That's just the bottom line. It's the whole point of monetizing it in the first place. Why monetize for a tiny cut out of a dream sale when you could have had a larger cut out of the thing that you've actually made? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
So, Ghost Fruit said, I think we should make a beautiful PDF package of all these monetization ideas with their pros and cons and just give it to MM. Like, we know you've been thinking about it, but here's some more ideas. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're gonna walk into MM and we'll just be like, guys, we got it. This is what we're doing. Get ready. And
to be quite honest, I think it's completely out of MM's hands. I don't think they have any involvement with it whatsoever. I think the whole Sony Corporation is like, yeah, no, you leave that to us. We'll deal with it. I don't think MM has any control over it whatsoever.
And if anybody knows the minds of the Corpo, it's Jammy. So you know what? I'm 100% behind him right now. So let's see here. I'm just messing with you, bro. And Duckonomics, I think assets should either be a one-time purchase or be free, like in Unity. Royalties introduce some questions that are impossible to answer. Yeah, there's not much you can do. He has a point. Someone has to come up with the groundbreaking Wu-Tang deal. Whatever it is, the Wu-Tang deal. Wow. Let's see. Notre Dame. I'm dopey and I do dopey shit. Dopey. Wow. So, Jay Eddie, nah, I'll stick with I'm pretty bad. Everyone else is better. Wow. Yeah, making it the same price is a good idea because he's right. If people think it's good quality and or useful, more people will buy it, so it works out. Thank you. We have another non-corpo in chat who isn't just trying to greet it all out over here. God. You said you were going away for the weekend. Where you going? Even though the banks are closed, you going in anyway? Is that what's going on? You just going in anyway? So you can count the monies? Count the monies in the vault by yourself with some tea?
I have no money.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that.
I see you. I see you and I know your games. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
All right, let's keep going.
So.
Let's keep going. Guys, y'all don't know. I have so many trust issues. I always say it when we're talking about Dino and stuff. Like, I just know somebody's gonna say something and be like, "Yo, but I came up with that." That's somebody just took credit for all my work. No, only certain people who just joined the team can do that. They can take credit for all my work. I don't care. So let's see. Here's my idea. You can use paid and free assets in your games, but as soon as you put a price tag on your game, you need to pay the asset creators who put a price on their assets. Basically, every time you add a paid asset to your game, you add a new thing to your cart, and you only have to go to checkout when you decide to monetize your game.
That's interesting.
That's
So you could release it for free in the Dreamiverse, and then if you decide you want to monetize it, you just got to pay for everything that you used originally.
I'm not sure. I feel like
There'd have to be limitations of what the prices can be set to, obviously. As long as there was limitations in place for what prices you can set for what asset, then that would actually work, I think.
sorry to say, I do like the idea. I'm laughing at something else in chat, but but yeah, that would be interesting if there was a checkout. Even though I still, I don't know, something feels off. I can't say I see it. I don't know what it is, but something feels. Well, no, because, no, maybe not, because maybe that's the thing. You can just, like, when you decide to monetize, you're just like, yo, here's your cut up front. This is what you asked for.
It's a flat rate charge, so regardless whether the game sells 1 copy or 2 million copies, that person's agreeing that they get paid a flat rate cut for that asset in their creation standalone before any other analytics gets involved.
I feel like there has to be royalties.
Not if it's just a flat rate charge. Like with the marketplace on Unreal, is there royalties on top of their flat rate cut?
I would say that's the problem with a lot of stuff, is that there isn't. But I mean, never mind. That's me just being on my.
Because ultimately, that's the issue, isn't it? Is royalties. Royalties is where it becomes sticky. Whereas if it's a flat rate charge, you get rid of all that annoyance. If it's flat rate.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, once again, like I feel like a lot of the stuff we hear about now, even in not just in gaming, but in like film and TV and stuff where things are constantly being adapted, and like, the author will come out and be like, hey, I wrote The Witcher, and like, well, I hate to use this thing because that guy was just a dick. I'm sorry. He's a great writer. I loved it. But like, he's basically came out of the woodwork and was like, yeah, I didn't know it was going to become this $1 billion thing with a Netflix show. And it's like, yeah, I agree that, if they're making a bucket load of money, throw him some. But it wasn't in the contract. And so that's why, like, whenever I do client work that deals with artwork, because I don't tattoo, but even then you still get royalties off a tattoo because people are like, hey, who did that tattoo? And then that leads to you getting more money as people are your poster board. But like, I don't know. I feel like most this is another topic altogether, honestly.
Just go into it a little bit.
I just feel like I feel like there shouldn't, like, when I say flat rate, I meant flat rate as in you get this amount of cut of total proceeds. So if a game sells 1 million copies, then you would get that rate off of that million, not you got paid the $1.50 for your asset and that's it for you. And then whatever else comes in, well, that's just split between the guys. It's like, it would have to be something to me that's like a continual cut. Like, maybe if it's like, let's say you got 0.5% on something, just a random number, but it's like you would get that off of however many of this many batches sold. But this is, like I said, this is getting less into dreams and more about how I feel about the way things could be done so that people actually make an amount that they should off of what their stuff is being used for. Like I said, if I do like logo work, I don't do it off of base pay anymore. I do it off of royalty, because all you have to do is go look up the woman who designed the Nike logo. The woman who designed the Nike logo made $30. $30.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, yo, that's cool and all, but if I had put something in my contract that said, oh, but royalties, her family would be set until the earth burned up. And so it's like, that's how I think about stuff now, where it's like, yeah, it can be a flat rate, but I'm not talking like pay me $1.99 and you get to use this asset. It's, I get this percentage of basically this piece of what you're doing. So it's a continual royalty-based thing. But that's just how I do business. I'm sorry to take this so far off point. It's how I think of things.
It all relates back to the monetization of dreams, though, and how it can be used.
Require people to pay a fee to send something off to Sony, sort of like the initial Steam down payment, lol. Let's see here. Insane Alpha Beta. Hi, just got back from the store. My immediate thoughts are yes, solely from Patreon and Kickstarter alone. I'm trying to remember what part of the.
Yeah.
I think that was the proposal one of the donate button. So I know indie devs used to struggle with the cost of patching their games on PlayStation Network. Not sure if their deals and rates have improved over the years. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Maybe we'll have our guest that's coming soon answer that. And no, we can't tell you who it is yet. We're just teasing you all over the place.
It is a real Made in Tease podcast today.
Don't you want to know who it is? We'll never tell you. We'll let the person come and go and never tell you that was the person we were referencing.
Yeah.
The tease will live on forever.
Yeah, forever. That's it.
Let me see. Lear the Lepus. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. I believe it will have to be separated. If you want to create for fun and for free, do it. If you want to sell stuff, you perhaps pay a license, have to create everything yourself with your collaborators. Yeah. I believe it will increase the quality of monetized creations. There will be less problems with copyright stuff, easier to detect. Logistically, I just think it's too hard to pull off the everyone gets a share idea. Yeah. I mean, that's why I said it has to be, I believe it has to be a separate thing. Like if they said exportation wasn't coming until the PC version came, I'd be like, yeah, that's pretty much what I feel like. I feel like that's the only way it can really be done.
Because you have to consider as well, like, what if you used 1,000 assets in your creation? Like, how do you split the royalties between that? It's just so difficult. I think the PC version probably it's the easiest way to do it, at least.
Yes. And who proposed that PC version? Who did?
I think it was someone in chat. I can't remember.
Oh, you can't remember? Can't remember? Trust issues. Anyway, the point is that I'm just messing with y'all. Let me see. Will of the Bob, what if I made a game and thought it was good and then someone figured out how to break it and I didn't know how to fix it? Would I have to pay someone to fix it for me? Well, if you had those Sony testers, it wouldn't fall on you anymore.
But would it though? They're not going to go and fix it though, are they? That would be down to the creator itself. They'd say, "Here's the problem. You're the dev. Go fix it."
Well, yeah, but if it was found after it was released, you'd probably be asked to fix it, and then maybe you would have to find somebody. But that's when you call RBD. That's when you call RBD or Acert or somebody in the logic, and you're just like, guys, get me up on this, and then you give them a little cheddar. Because, Life of Black Tiger stares at you, rubs its asset, flip paws at you, and screams. Work hard.
Okay.
Wu-Tang. Let me see here. Spicy. If don't could they turn dreams? Wait, what? Bro. Oh, if Sony could. I was like, if don't could. We broke this man. We literally made this man insane with our conversation. So if Sony could, they turn dreams into Roblox. You know what? I'm not gonna, because we know how egregious Roblox is. That it's just like, I don't want to charge anyone with that. I'll let them make the mistake first before I start saying anything like that. Because I hope they wouldn't. I know it's all about money. I know the corpo gonna corp, but I'll at least let them make the mistake first, I guess.
I don't think they would. Purely down to themselves to be like, no, you can't do that. Just look at the community, take a look at the data. If you do this, you're going to destroy it. I think would really be in the corner and say, look, you own us, you do what you want to do, but if you do this, we guarantee you're going to kill it. And at that point, it would open up the conversation again.
Yeah. So let's see. Ninja says, at Willow, can you get a bunch of pro-consumer gamer YouTube channels treating us like CD Projekt Red? Oh, no. You won't win the game until you do it. I just bought a game on the Switch for $1.99 on sale, and it was total crap. Worse than any game I've ever played in Dreams. Yeah, but do you miss that $1.99? Do you really? No, I'm just like, I get your point. And yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just, I feel like
there's a difference though between the Switch store and the PlayStation store, because Nintendo will literally put anything on their store. Absolutely anything. They don't care what it is.
Anything except good games. No,
no, but seriously though,
sorry.
The Nintendo store is disgusting. It really, really is. They have no standards at all of what goes on their store. They just want to fill it with as much stuff as possible to say, look, we've got this store with X amount of games available on it.
Yeah, that's what happens when you don't have games. What?
They just... No, like the quality threshold between Nintendo and Sony is so different. You just can't even compare it. You really can't.
Well, let me see here. Let's see. RBD came back at Lear the Lepus, and I wonder if that's supposed to be Lear or Year the Lepus. I don't know. It's anyway. Yeah, I think Dreamiverse should be free. Monetized creation should find other storefronts, but maybe pay a cut to Sony Maybe cut is smaller if you release on PlayStation. Yeah, I'm all about it. Let's see. Oh, no. Oh, no. Willow said to Ninja, I think I would be deterred from ever coming back to the Dreamiverse. It's if you made us Project Red. If you were single-handedly the person that made us into that. I'm definitely tapping into hard time. Let's see, Wargobble. We know the aren't stupid. They'll handle it fine. Yeah. If there's a company I trust to do it and to literally take the hit until it can be done well. Because I don't know. I know we all want stuff. Like, we all want to see dreams get bigger, better, bolder, everything. We want all this stuff. But man, sometimes I wonder what it's like in there, like just
Oh,
being crushed under the weight of anticipation of all of us in the lobby. Just hey, you finished that? You finished that multiplayer yet? You Yeah, you gonna let me monetize? What about exporting? Can I make 3D models yet? It's just they can feel the hot breath of the community just right on the back of their neck, and that's like it really does feel like that's what it must feel like for them. It's sometimes when I see people like actively getting mad. And it's like, when is it coming? I shouldn't have bought it until it came out. And I was just like, God, dude, calm down. Do you have nothing you can work on? I got stuff to work on. Like, I need to get better before I'm coming up in here and be like, I'm the she's. I do everything. I make some logic that'll break the entire dreams as a whole. If I tried to do logic, I'd somehow create a virus that would actually clear all the servers. I can't like
wow.
yeah, it's
Wow.
bad. It's bad.
I mean, that would be a talent in itself.
I wouldn't know how I did it, which would be just the shame of it all. And anyway, I don't think you ever charge for assets. You hire an asset creator, you form a team, everything is cleaner that way. I agree, but also not everybody got time like that. Not everybody got time like that. Or the ability to find a team.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Let me see here. Laird, I doubt they'd even allow you to use anything else than the PS Store, and in that case, the normal cut Sony takes from devs would suffice, I believe, at RBD. I know it's unlikely. I'm still in the camp that Dreams needs to come to PC if it really wants to grow, be a viable tool. A lot of people hold that perspective, and I don't think it needs to do that to become a viable tool, but I do think it needs to do that to be more perceived as a viable tool.
Yes.
I'm not sure if I'm saying something different than what you meant, RBD, but that would be my twist on what was said. Was like, it's a viable tool, period. I feel, as I tell people all the time, I feel bad for the gamers because honestly, if I want to make a movie or a short film or whatever, I could just make it in Dreams and then take it and put it on YouTube, or keep the files on my PC from YouTube or something. Like I can go elsewhere with what I create, and I can even do the audio after if I wanted to. But for game developers, it's a lot different. So I feel for y'all. I do. Like it. I understand the want for these things to be figured out so that everybody can get their pie in the sky. That's what I want. Willie, Mighty Vicious, a.k.a. the chubby Bodhisattva. And so, Falcarich, yeah, I believe the main character in the book was even a panda called Poe. Yeah. See, he knew about the thing I was talking about.
It was even a panda called Poe.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he deserved his cut. I mean,
yeah.
Come on, that's a bit.
I mean, apparently he had the whole thing sketched out. I don't know what else, like, who brought anything else, or if they were just like, yo, let's see if we can steal it. See if we get away with it. Like, let's just see if this guy ever comes back. We don't know how to contact him anymore.
I wouldn't put it past him at all to do that.
No, Corpo gonna corp. That's all it's gonna be. Corpo gonna corp. So it could happen considering the recent PC releases of some former PS exclusives. I'm not gonna lie. When they said PS exclusives being brought to PC, the first thing I thought of was Dreams. I was like, yo, they made this specifically for Dreams. Like, they plan to do this because of Dreams. I don't know why my brain went there, but it's just like it's inevitable. It truly is inevitable in my mind. There's no way Dreams does not get to PC. But we talked about that. Watch last week's show if you want to talk about that, or hear us talk about that. I hope everybody's enjoying those timestamps that I put into the YouTube joints, because I'm gonna tell you, I take my notes. I'm trying to do better for all of you. All right. Anyway, so Let's see. I think it will come to PC eventually, hopefully as part of a master plan and not in its death throes. Save our game. It's dying. Willow Bob, Fortnite recently blatantly took the entire gameplay mechanics from Among Us. Yeah. Corpo go Corp. Oh, look, they did something and it seemed to work. That's why everybody has a friggin'
Battle Royale.
Yeah, a battle royale like shooter at this point. It's like PUBG and Fortnite came out, and then everybody was like, "Well, we want that money. We can get more money if we do that." I personally have I can't do those games. I have no interest. It bores me. It puts me to sleep. It, in a simple word, flaccid. Anyway, so Jet Yeti, I guess I will say this here. I still don't think monetization should come to dreams and exploitation as well to it. What do you mean exploitation?
Yeah, exploitation is a completely different thing.
Yeah, but I'm gonna read it as exploitation until it comes to my until it makes sense in the sentence. As well, to an extent, I have slightly changed my mind on it since last weekend on the show, but obviously dealing with the legality of other people's assets, over 50 or so creations from 50 different people in a single set of yours, that right there is obviously hell to go through, and sorting out how much one person gets over the other for whatever asset is there. Okay, yeah, he corrected it. Exportation.
Yeah, exportation. Yeah.
Sorry, I used the text to speech. Oh man, never trust the text to speech, bro. Nobody.
No.
Text to speech will get you hurt. Like you cannot trust.
You can't even trust autocorrect, let alone text to speech.
No, but text to speech is like you just went out on a night with the boys, and there's that one boy that you've been left with who's drunk as hell, and you're talking to him, but he can't understand English anymore. That's text to speech. That's who that guy is. Jet Yeti, can you write that again, but use punctuation? RBD, sir. Oh boy, this is why we love RBD. We gotta get everybody that's in this chat on a screen at some point. It's
so fun.
It's so crazy, hilarious.
But it'd be so fun.
And RBD said sorry, didn't mean that in an insulting way or something. It just make it a lot more readable. And Willow, it's fine. Willow is a delight. I hope most of you have gotten to speak with her at some point. But that read snarky as hell. Yeah, text is hard. Oh boy. Sorry, I was using text to speech, so I still don't think monetization expectation needs just putting it back in there. War Garble, I'd cry and be like, don't hurt me, Sony, just hold me. Yikes. What do you think about ads being included in dreams? Yo, somebody said this earlier, and if I see an ad in dreams, I'm deleting.
Wow. Okay. I mean, I don't want ads in dreams either, but that's a very strong.
No, ads do not belong in video games. I am. This is something I'm really like. If it's an ad for something, if it's an ad for something that's in the game, not even DLC. If it's DLC, get it out of here. I don't want to be like, no. If
even
I go to
DLC,
I will not accept or tolerate ads in dreams. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. I don't think MM would ever do it. I personally don't even think it would even cross their minds. But it would literally have to come down to like Sony made us do it is the only excuse I'll take. That's it. I and even then I'm going to have some issues because ads do not belong in games. They just don't belong in games. You can show ads on your store, on your website, on anything you want. But you can't show it in once I've spent my money you cannot show me ads in a game. On the home screen, on your store, even if you want to send me something on my phone every now and again. But no. I can't do it. The only time I've ever slightly been open to ads in Dreams was a racing game. Because in a racing game where you're driving through all the cities and stuff, it would fit. Like if they were like, oh, well, there's going to be a Mountain Dew commercial or G Fuel or Monster or, you know, something, or you're driving through Times Square. So you have like a movie like poster or digital, you know, display or something like that. I'd love to see an ad in that because that actually feels like the integration of the real world into the racing game. But when people start putting ads like they started doing with like the UFC game from EA and NBA, where they were literally making you watch commercials instead of playing the game. No, that is a betrayal of a lot. I can't do it. I no. Okay, we can move on. I'll just. And luckily, I can still go back and see the chat. And yes, so I can still see the chat. So let me catch back up to where. Let's see. I can go back to where I was. I see. Duckonomics said, I would love to see RBD on the podcast. He somehow always has a hot take. That's why we like him. That's why, because RBD don't care. RBD is like the gentle honey badger of Dreams. I love that he's just out here. He's like, I don't give. I'm just gonna say stuff. I love it.
He has actually been on the show though. If you go through
twice.
Catalog, you can see he has been on there and listen to that.
He's been individual episode and also on one of our roundtables where we had multiple people up here at once, and I enjoyed both times. Even though he was holding out on me on the roundtable, I remember. Don't think I forgot. I did. You were holding back a little on me, but we're gonna have everybody back at some point. Let's see. Yeah, Brown said either. Wait. I want to get the beginning. I don't care about monetization, but I want to share my game with my friends. Either taking the game out and share it for free or making Dreams free to play but pay to create. That way my friends don't have to buy Dreams in order to play games, and they can pay only if they get interested in creating. I'm going to tell you, you know what? This is another topic.
Yeah, there's a whole lot we could do with that.
Yeah, because I'm going to tell you right now, If you explain to somebody what Dreams is and the fact that it's on sale like every other month now.
Yeah, like literally all the time.
If someone is literally can't be bothered to pay $15 for an unending library of new games, new short films, new music, you can't be bothered for that. If someone has to be like, to me, let me preface it with the to me. If someone has to be like convinced to get value, like maybe you know what? I ain't gonna say that. That's being too real. I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna stop it right there. Look, let's move on. Everybody can get their pie in the sky. Yeah. Duckonomics, you get it. No, I'm just kidding. I know that was a quote. I would love to see, what is that? PLP? Being able to pitch their ideas to studios by using Dreams as their creative draft? Yeah. Wouldn't you love to see that? Wouldn't you? We're going to tease you forever. So let's see. Jet Yeti, if I had to come up with a way of sharing a creation outside of Dreams, then one, no matter what make no matter what, make sure people who have dreams have full access to the creation and assets. And 2, make sure the creation in dreams is free, just like everything else, but monetization outside of it is okay. Yeah. I personally wouldn't have a problem with it. I found the show through YouTube first. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, welcome to the Mighty Vicious crew. I would love to see RBD. Okay, now we're back to that comment. I was scrolling up. Okay, so Rip Stream, awesome. I'm always scared of writing F first, thinking it's my internet. Oh, this stream wasn't just me then. Yeah, Mighty Vicious got so raged, Twitch ended the stream. See, I knew you would be on here talking crap. Talking crap.
It's the truth.
Trust issues.
It's the truth.
And this is Dream. This is what Dreamfest team sees. Lol. And let me see. Jet Yeti, for anyone else, does it say error 4000? I'm glad we didn't have to wait for them to catch up in the chat to reboot the stream. Lol. Thank you for following Mediocre Woodchuck. we got to you eventually. The Friday curse tried to stop us, but we got you. Okay, now we're back. Jesus Christ. Sorry, it's just I keep looking at the chat and I'm like, oh, so I've almost reached the end right now. No,
it just keeps going.
Okay, so here we go. Look at that copied. Oh, you guys are back. Yes, we are back. We're Garble. Insanity, yeah, but in-game placements would be cool. In-game placements, as long as they fit. That's it. I get to decide in a fraction of a second with my brains whether or not I'm going to sit there and pay attention to your ad. But you can't use it in a load screen. You can't, like, none of that. None of that. Like, guys, I'm not playing. I'm not playing. I don't play it. I would be, y'all would see a whole different podcast. Like, day one. It probably wouldn't even be on a Friday. Just the moment I saw it, I would go live immediately. And that would be the end of it all. So, let me see. Yeah, those ads are ass. I never wanted to see those ads in the game ever. Yep. Battlefield 2142 2006 tried in-game billboard ads. Yeah. I can't take it. It's let's see. Timio, I think it would be a great idea to widen the player creator base by putting Dreams in PS Plus for 1 month or to release Dreams for PC. We have spoken about this in depth, and for the most part, we agree. I believe the big influx would be PC, personally.
Or they should just include it in the PS Plus.
Hey! Don't you start now, because when I pitched what I would do I told you when they released PlayStation 5, Dreams should have been the friggin' home space. I told you they should have did it. But anyway, once again, trust issues. I'm sorry. The point is, I'm sorry, okay? Trust issues. So I said it. That's all I'm saying. Char, I rewrote my last comment because I didn't know he'd be able to read it again. There. I got you. My hot takes might become fewer in the near future, considering I applied to work at recently, but we'll see, I guess.
Ooh.
Good luck, my dude.
Good luck.
Yeah, definitely good luck. If companies could ads in your real life, put ads, okay. Could put ads in your real life Dreams, they would. That's the real nightmare. Yeah. They'd have ads playing behind your eyelids while you were trying to sleep if they could do it. They like MK Ultra ads into your psyche if they could. They would do some messed up stuff if they could, like, just to try to sell you stuff. Anyway, but we have finally made it, unfortunately, to the end of chat. Like, as far as we had crashes, we had to come back, we got remixes and all types of stuff.
Fridays, it's crazy. I just don't get it. With Fridays, we just always have issues.
Wait, you remember when we used to not have issues? Those were the times, right? Those were the good times.
The good times. What, when we were children?
Oh,
that's...
we'll never have times like those again. Those times are dead
those
to
times
us.
are dead. Yeah.
You know, but look, and what I meant by full access in Dreams, I meant by making all assets in the creation as remixable as well. Skipped your comment. Where? I didn't mean to, but yes. What I meant by full access in Dreams, I meant by making all assets in the creation as remixable as well. Yeah. So, I mean, that would be one way. If we are just saying out the door with the monetization, you make it on here, it's free for everybody. That'd be interesting. I know certain people probably wouldn't like that a whole lot. I know some people are like, no, it's mine. Which, like I said, we've had that conversation too. I have no problem with it. If it like creations, keep it. Technique, share it.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Full realization that we are dying and everything sucks. Dreams is great though. War garble. I see you picked up on that. Anyway, the point is, we have reached the end of the day. This man needs to get out of town, and I need to go lay on my bed like a beached whale. So after I do a whole bunch of editing now, thanks.
Thank you, Twitch.
Thanks PC and Twitch. And we started.
Was it the PC or was it Twitch?
I don't know, honestly. It just kept going out. Like, if I pressed the button, it would literally be like, no, you can't. And I'm like, but I want to, though. And it was like, no. You got to wait at least 15 seconds so nothing can change and I'll just work all of a sudden. So I don't know what happened. But
sounds about right. It's just
but
Fridays. Fridays.
But I enjoyed all my time with you lovely people. And hopefully there's not the end of the world when I try to find somebody to raid. But who's online?
Lee's is on.
Lee's is on? Okay. Well, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Lee's. Thank you once again to everybody that came through.
Really good.
It's been really cool. I love your comments. I love that everybody's been really supportive. I'm sorry we can't talk about that thing, though. That thing that we want to talk about real bad.
You're teasing
so
again.
bad. So I told him the tease would never stop. I told him that. What's the main rule? Vicious never lies to the people. Not one time. So I told him the tease would never stop. So it is never going to stop now. This is just the way it is. Get used to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're here. Oh, no, RBD. So, Jet Yeti, he's going to ask a friend to help him with Discord. Hey, we'll have you on, man. Just let us know. Just let us know when. We'll get in. Take it easy, guys. Have a good night. And you do the same. And, once again, thank you. Love you all.
Really good show today. Loved everybody being involved.
Trust issues.